What is up, guys? I'm Scott, you're watching the UFC Live, and this is the UFC 208 preview. So yes, tomorrow night it is UFC 208, which takes place in the Barclays Centre in Brooklyn, New York. And admittedly, this event has kind of flown under the radar a little bit in that there actually hasn't been that much press coverage or hype surrounding it. And it's kind of a shame because when you take a look at the fight card, it's actually pretty strong. I think the main reason is because the main event itself between Holly Holm and Germaine de Randamie wasn't exactly considered to be the blockbuster main event we was all expecting. Obviously, going into it, there was rumours going around saying that Jose Aldo was going to be defending his featherweight title against Max Holloway, and even Conor McGregor was going to be defending his lightweight or featherweight titles at the time. But that's not the case. We now have Holm versus de Randamie, and I personally think it's going to be a very good fight. Main reason is because, first of all, this is going to be the first ever women's featherweight championship match, so history will be made on the night. And also, this fight will feature two of the best female strikers in the UFC, so we should be in for one heck of a stand-up battle. So I can't wait. That being said, let's get into the preview, and it's time for me to take a look at those fights in the preliminaries that just might steal the show on the evening. The first preliminary fight of the evening will see Ian McCall take on UFC debutant Jared Brooks. This will be McCall's first fight for over 2 years due to the fact that his previous 5 scheduled fights have been cancelled for various reasons. In fact, McCall was meant to be fighting Neil Seery at UFC 208, however, Seery had to pull out due to personal reasons, which has allowed Brooks to come in and take his place. Now, the debutant, Jared Brooks, has all the skills in the world to pull off a big victory against Ian McCall. He has great takedown technique, great control from the top position, and he can hit hard. However, what might let him down in this fight is his striking technique. This will see him charging at his opponents, throw bombs, not mix up his strikes, and barely move his head. And for an established pro such as McCall, this is something he can very much take advantage of with his boxing and his footwork. And it's because of this, I think McCall will get the victory. I don't think McCall will knock Brook out, but I think McCall will keep his distance and pick his shots when he needs to, and ultimately comfortably ride out for a victory. And it's because of this, I predict Ian McCall to win via unanimous decision. Closing out the preliminary fights at UFC 208 will be Randy Brown versus Belal Muhammad. After winning 3 of his first 4 UFC fights in 2016, Brown will want to get 2017 off to the right start by winning his first fight of the year. As for Belal Muhammad, this fight is turned to a must-win as he has lost 2 of his first 3 UFC fights, which included him being knocked out in 79 seconds to Vincent Luque at UFC 205 in November. Going into the fight, Brown will have a 6-inch reach advantage over Muhammad. This means he'll be able to pick Muhammad off from distance and control the fight from there. However, Muhammad could get back into this fight by using his boxing and footwork skills to close the distance and cause damage from close range. However, I personally think that the 6-inch reach advantage will be too much for Muhammad, and I think Brown will be able to pick him off and control the fight for the whole way through. Therefore, my prediction is Randy Brown to win by unanimous decision. Okay, so we now move on to the main card, and we kick things off with Dustin Poirier taking on Jim Miller. Now, Poirier is going into this fight off the back of his spectacular knockout loss to Michael Johnson at a Fight Night event in September, and so he will want to win to get back on track and hopefully push on for a top 5 place in the future, whereas a win for Jim Miller could strengthen his case for a possible place in the top 15 of the lightweight rankings in the UFC. So how do I see this fight going? Well, ultimately I see it as Poirier's fight to lose. I can see Poirier doing what Poirier does best, that's applying a pressure to his opponent, mixing up his strikes and takedowns, and ultimately finding the finish. Jim Miller doesn't normally respond well to being pressured by his opponent, and I think the best way he could possibly win this fight is by exposing Poirier to one of his strong counter punches to find a finish there. But I can't see that happening, and I think that the pressure will get to him. And so ultimately, my prediction is Dustin Poirier to win by TKO. Up next, we have a fight that could have huge ramifications for the UFC light heavyweight division as Glover Teixeira takes on Jared Cannonier. Now, number 3 ranked light heavyweight Teixeira is coming into this fight off the back of a spectacular knockout loss to Anthony Johnson at UFC 202. However, a victory for him here at UFC 208 could put him back in pole position for a future shot at the light heavyweight crown. However, there have been reports saying that Dana White has come out saying that once John Jones returns from suspension, he will most likely be getting that shot at the light heavyweight title. However, should that fall through, you would expect Teixeira to be the man getting the call. As for Jared Cannonier, well, he's still relatively new into his UFC career, and an interesting fact for you, he does UFC part-time as he still hasn't even quit his regular day job yet. But a victory over an icon and a legend such as Glover Teixeira, I think might be enough to see him commit to UFC full-time. But do I see Cannonier pulling off the shock victory? No. Ultimately, I can see this fight going one way, and that's with Teixeira applying pressure, scoring the takedown, and finding the finish. In his previous fight, Cannonier did show he had some decent takedown defence, but ultimately he ended up on his back on a couple of occasions. Cannonier may have a bit of a speed advantage over Teixeira in this one, but I still can't see it coming through, and I think this one's going to end early. So my prediction is Glover Teixeira TKO. Up next, we move on to the middleweight division as we see Ronaldo Souza take on Tim Boetsch. Now, a win for Souza could see him strengthen his case for a shot at the middleweight title in the future, and with Boetsch could see him finally break into that top 10 of the UFC middleweight division. Now, in this fight, expect Souza to apply his normal game plan of biding his time and waiting for that big powerful takedown, and then once on the ground, expect him to control his opponent until a submission opportunity presents itself. As for Tim Boetsch, the only way he can win this fight is if he comes out as the aggressor and uses the power that he has in his hands. Boetsch is also dangerous in the clinch, and if he can get Souza there, he can definitely cause some damage from it. However, unless caught by a big shot from out of nowhere that knocks him out cold, I can only see this being a routine victory for Souza. Therefore, my prediction is for Ronaldo Souza to win by submission. Up next, in the co-main event of the evening, we have the legend, that is Anderson Silva, taking on Derek Brunson. Now, Silva goes into this fight looking for his first win since 2012. That his last loss came at the hands of Daniel Cormier at UFC 202. Admittedly, Silva did take this fight at short notice. Brunson also goes into this fight off the back of a loss, but before that, he was on a 5-win streak. And to be honest, Brunson is one of the most dangerous men in the UFC today. And it's for this reason, I worry for Anderson Silva. He might still have the power in his hands that made him the fighter that he was, but he's 41 years old now, and he's nearing the end of his career. Whereas Derek Brunson at 33 is only hitting his stride and is one of the most powerful strikers in the UFC today, he can even take people down when called upon. And it's because of this, I think Brunson will try use that power to end the fight early and land that big hit on Silva. And so for this reason, I do believe that Brunson will take advantage of an aging, slowing down Anderson Silva. I don't think he'll knock him out, but I think he will dominate. My prediction, Derek Brunson wins by unanimous decision. And now we get to the main event of UFC 208, as Holly Holm takes on Germaine de Randamie in a fight that will make history as we crown the first ever women's featherweight champion. And as previously stated, this fight will feature 2 of the premier strikers in the UFC, so we should be in for one heck of a stand-up battle. Now, in order for Holly Holm to counter the harsh kickboxing style of de Randamie, I think she's going to have to try set up her takedowns early and pick her strikes from there, something she's very much capable of doing as she's demonstrated in previous fights. As for de Randamie, as previously mentioned, her kickboxing background means that she will have some vicious knee and leg strikes on her, and I think that she will use that to her full advantage. De Randamie will also have the reach advantage over Holm, which means she will be allowed to keep her distance and pick her shots from there, but I still firmly believe she will use her kicking ability to cause the most damage. Overall, we look like we could be in for one heck of a fight, and I can't wait to watch it play out. But ultimately, I think de Randamie has too much for Holm, and I personally believe she will become the first ever women's featherweight champion. My prediction, they're under me by TKO. So that's it. That was my preview for UFC 208. Thank you so much for watching. If you want, you can like, share, subscribe to my channel. You can even give me a follow on Twitter on @ScottyMoriarty. I've been Scott. This has been the UFC Life, and I will see you very, very soon.
Do you know which direction to take at the intersection? Do